We as teachers are always trying to find new ways to engage our students, searching for innovative means to assess their learning. Lectures and discussions are fine, but there are other ways. With the advent of new technology and the ever-growing ease of access to computers, one of the newest projects that can be found is the digital story. A digital story employs the use of multimedia to tell a story, incorporating many tools such as text, video, voice audio, graphics, sound, and animation into the completed project. Now this may sound like a lot of learning and work on behalf of both the teacher and the student. So this begs the question, why would someone assign a digital story project? Educators are always working to develop new techniques to connect students to information. Past generations have done this through paper, worksheets, quizzes, and tests, but as technology has advanced, so has its place in the classroom. A digital story incorporates an element introduced only within the last decade, dynamic media. Essentially, dynamic media consists of interactive digital media that can be revised and shared over the internet to others. Today's students are well versed with technology. From iPods to cell phones, YouTube to Facebook, dynamic media can be found throughout their lives. If we can harness it for educational purposes, we as teachers with the necessary skills can employ the media to teach more dynamically. Let's look at a digital story as the answer to an essential question. Essential questions are questions and problems to which the content, much like a digital story, represents answers. Answering these essential questions shape the way students learn to think critically for themselves. Here's an essential question for us. How can the use of digital storytelling and dynamic media promote the development of understanding? Many of you may have seen this diagram or something very similar before. This represents Benjamin Bloom's taxonomy of learning, a classification of learning objectives that educators have used for their students. They range from lower level order thinking skills like remembering and understanding to higher order thinking skills such as evaluating and creating. Bloom set up his taxonomy to follow the thinking process. You cannot understand a concept if you do not first remember it. Similarly, you cannot apply knowledge and concepts if you do not first understand them. So to answer our first essential question, the use of digital storytelling and dynamic media promotes the development of understanding by working our way through Bloom's taxonomy. In order to create our project, we must first incorporate all levels of thinking skills. From the first part, remembering and identifying our main topic, to understanding and summarizing all proper information, then applying what we have learned about our topic and executing a rough draft of our digital story, then analyzing the rough draft and comparing it to our notes or to other stories, evaluating and revising it to meet our teacher's standards, and then finally creating and producing our finished product. By having our students create digital stories, we are asking them to go beyond simple thinking skills, giving them a chance to claim ownership over their project, or even collaborating with their peers and developing their social skills alongside their thinking skills. So we have now found out what digital storytelling and dynamic media are, and we have seen how they promote understanding. But another essential question that is asked is how can they be integrated in the classroom in order to promote such understanding? The truth is that digital stories can be created in every classroom, regardless of what subject the student is learning. There are many examples across the web of teachers integrating digital stories in place of a paper, or given as an extra credit assignment. Here are just a few examples to share. Hopefully our students have a variety of computers to access, from their personal computers at home to the school's computer lab. As teachers, we must become experts in the tools our students will use to create their digital stories. from video software and editing tools to hardware such as recording devices and microphones. Every teacher must also have knowledge of how to upload and share digital stories, as well as to help students do the same. One teacher favorite is SchoolTube.com. When it comes to assessing digital stories, there are numerous aspects that teachers can grade, much like an essay or a research paper. Along with core concepts like purpose, organization, and mechanics, there are also visual and audio components to grade as well. Here's a sample rubric that covers many of the core concepts. With the advent of online education, technology is utilized in the classroom now more than ever. Currently, I am an online high school English teacher at Nevada Virtual Academy, teaching from my home office in Henderson, Nevada. Nevada Virtual Academy is a full-time, tuition-free online public school option for all students in Nevada. We have a kindergarten through 12th grade enrollment of 1,700 students, and we are still expanding. We are an all-online school, meaning each student gets a computer that has a curriculum provided by K-12 software. Every teacher who teaches for Nevada Virtual Academy is a highly qualified Nevada licensed teacher. Like I said, all books, materials, and computers are loaned out to the students, and they are shipped back after the semester or school year is done. We are a fully accredited high school, so a high school diploma that meets all state requirements for graduates can be received upon graduation. As a teacher at NVVA, I teach 4 sections of 9th grade English as well as 1 section of public speaking. This upcoming school year, I plan on implementing one of my own digital story assignments into the rubric of my public speaking class. The essential question that I would like all of my students to have answered by the end of the semester-long course is how communication is connected to them in their daily lives. As we know, communication is a vital necessity for the survival of humans as a society. But yet many of us define ourselves as below average public communicators. So the goal for the class is to have my students work on their communication skills by learning to trust their voices, be able to organize their thoughts, prepare their speeches properly, and work on the anxiety that public speaking gives many people. One of the units in my public speaking class deals with the personal narrative, a speech in which you organize and share a story about yourself. The essential question asked in this unit is why are our personal stories linked to our identity? This is a great example of where a digital story can be substituted for an assignment. The following digital story is an example of what a student can make that would represent a proper digital story that answers the essential question for the personal narrative unit. That's me there in the middle. No, not the dog. The one with the facial hair and the Hawaiian t-shirt, holding my cousin and sitting next to my sister. This is me in high school, a big guy. Some people say they have an appetite for life. I said I just had an appetite, as you can see from that sack of Oreos I'm carrying. All throughout high school I was known for my size, being 6'3" and over 250 pounds. People came to recognize me as an imposing figure. I latched on to that big guy identity, and I used it a lot throughout high school to identify myself. I played football and was pretty good at it, so I wanted to continue on at the next level, and I even got some college scholarships to go play football, and my identity went with me. But the truth is, I was never really that happy with my identity. especially when it came to my weight. By the time sophomore year rolled around, I was over 300 pounds and was not happy with how I looked or how I felt. I was growing really tired of my big guy identity. But to alter your identity takes knowledge and action. The first thing I did was to understand what I was eating and how it changed my health. I studied the food pyramid and understood that I had to eat a lot more fruits and vegetables and a lot less of sugar and carbs and fatty foods that were making me the way that I was. With the support of family and friends, I started to lose weight, eating healthier, getting a little bit more exercise, and understanding that your identity is never concrete. It can always change. As I kept working at it, I found that I enjoyed running most of all when it came to physical activity. And soon I began running many races, from 5 and 10Ks to even half marathons. And then something happened. I picked a new form of identity, that of a runner. That's me and my wife completing a mud run in Las Vegas. Running is now a signature part of both of our identities. This November we will be running a marathon, a first for me. So as you can see, every one of us has an identity, but it is not concrete. By losing weight, I gained a new aspect of my identity, and I couldn't be prouder of it. As you can see, the digital story that I created has a purpose, is organized, has a rhythm and mechanics, has visual and audio content, and is of a good time length for most of my public speaking students. I believe that each one of them can duplicate and even improve on what I have done here with this digital story. As you can see, implementing a digital story into the classroom can be done, and in doing so, can hit a variety of standards for teachers. The first standard would be the International Society for Technology and Education, National Education Technology Standards. These are performance indicators for teachers when dealing with technology. A digital story can hit all 6 of the national standards, including having teachers demonstrate a sound understanding of technology operations and concepts, planning and designing effective and learning environments and experiences supported by technology, implementing curriculum plans that include methods and strategies for applying technology to maximize student learning, applying technology to facilitate a variety of effective assessment and evaluation strategies, using technology to enhance productivity and professional practice, and to understand the social, ethical, legal, and human issues surrounding the use of technology in pre-kindergarten through 12th grade schools and applying that understanding in practice. In Nevada, the state where I teach, there are achievement indicators for reading in grades 9 through 12. A digital story can hit a number of these indicators as well, including explaining a lesson learned based on events and or characters' actions while evaluating a digital story, evaluating the use of stylistic devices to create tone and mood while evaluating a digital story, making connections to self, other texts, and or the world while creating a digital story, using pre-writing strategies to plan written work in a digital story, listening for a variety of purposes including gaining information, being entertained, and understanding directions while evaluating a digital story, and listening to evaluate oral communications for content, delivery, point of view, ideas, purpose, and value while evaluating a digital story. The Partnership for 21st Century Skills Foundation has also come up with their own student outcomes that they would like to see every student achieve by the time they finish high school. Among these outcomes are communication and collaboration outcomes that a digital story hits, including how to communicate clearly and articulate thoughts and ideas effectively, listening effectively to decipher meaning, including knowledge, values, attitudes, and intentions, using communication for a range of purposes, utilizing multiple media and technology, and communicating effectively in diverse environments. Digital stories also help students think creatively by using a wide range of idea creation techniques such as brainstorming. They create new and worthwhile ideas and then elaborate, refine, analyze, and evaluate their own ideas in order to improve and maximize their creative efforts in their digital story. They also access and evaluate information, either in a timely manner and an effectively manner. They also evaluate information critically and competently and use information accurately and creatively for the issue or problem at hand. A digital story also helps a student apply technology effectively, using technology as a tool to research, organize, evaluate, and communicate information, using all types of digital technology appropriately to access, manage, integrate, evaluate, and create information to successfully function in a knowledge economy, and to apply a fundamental understanding of the ethical and legal issues surrounding the access and use of information technologies. Hopefully by now, you can see the positive aspects that a digital story can have if implemented into the classroom properly. As a final note, please take a look at the quote by David Jakes, in which he states that an educational experience that includes digital storytelling not only promotes the development of lifelong learners, but lifelong communicators as well. I thank you for your time.